Please stay tuned and let me introduce you to our guest.
Thank you, Christine. Um, uh, First, I have to commend the Secretariat of Planning for launching this initiative, which I believe will give a lot of our members and interest holders an avenue to get more involved, to share knowledge, to participate in the vision of our association, and also help disseminate information and share knowledge. So I congratulate you on finally being able to get this going. And I would also like to thank all those who have expressed interest. That's been quite encouraging. And we want to urge you to stay tuned and to keep checking in and to send in your ideas and recommendations. And I suppose make recommendations on people you want to hear from. So the secretaries will try to bring those viewpoints and expertise to you through this medium. So thank you all again. So I'll pass it to you to Jocelyn. You can go ahead.
All right, sir. Please, could you introduce yourself to our members because they know you, but don't they know of you, but they don't know exactly who you are. Can you just tell us a little bit about who you are, your professional history, and how you became who you are now?
All right, thank you very much. As you already mentioned, an engineer by training, by education, a mechanical engineer, and right after graduation from college, uh, I went into the oil and gas industry. I went to university in the UK, in Manchester, and also in the US at MIT, where I did postgraduate work. And thereafter, I jumped into the oil and gas industry, and I've been there for the past going on 30 odd years. So I started my career in the oil industry, actually in Kuwait, with Schlumberger, and worked around the Middle East. I did Kuwait, I did Abu Dhabi, Dubai. I also worked in Libya, and then from there I went on to work in different other continents around the world. Worked in Africa, quite some time in Nigeria, and then worked in Europe, especially as a young manager, running some of the affairs over there in France, and also worked in Italy. I went on to work in the US, and uh, at some point I ran the operations for the segment product line of Schlumberger in what we call the Gulf of Mexico geo market, and also part of North America. So it's kind of a broad-based experience working in not specifically in pipeline. I have to kind of explain at this time, but working on wells, uh, in oil production upstream. So I kind of bring that broad-based experience into the industry, and from there I set up and we started the company DG Technical Limited, which I'm CEO now, and DG Technical has been working in Nigeria in the past 20 years plus. We're going to over 20 years of being active in the oil and gas industry in Nigeria. Our areas of specialization has been centered around pipelines, especially pipeline maintenance. So we do a lot of things in keeping the pipeline flowing, from cleaning it, opening it up, removing sand, scale, wax deposits, carrying out integrity assessments, that is, doing measurements to assess the quality or the integrity and the status of pipelines. We do intelligent pigging, we do routine pigging, we do cleaning, we do sectional replacements. So if your survey indicates that some part of the pipeline is not in good condition, you can go in and cut it out, strengthen it, toughen it, put a coating around it. And then we do work at the both ends of the terminating ends of the pipeline. The pipeline is a continuous system, it can run for miles, so it has a beginning and an end. The beginning, typically we call it a launcher base, and we have the receiver base, and along in between you have different things. You have block valves, you have pumping stations, you have links to flow stations, to gas manifold systems. So we kind of scope encompasses all that, and that is what has made our company, DG Technical, a member and in fact a foundation member of the Pipeline Professionals Association of Nigeria.
All right. And so I understand your foundation, but how did that lead into PPA?
Thank you. Okay, the PPA, the acronym stands for Pigging Products Association. Pipeline Pigging Products and Accessories. What PPA does, PPA is a manufacturing outfit. They produce components, pigs of all types. We call it pigs in the industry. It's not the polymer pigs. But there are things that go into the pipeline. They go into the pipeline, they do the cleaning, they do the pushing out, they do sealing, they do scraping. So you kind of put different types of them. They come in different modes. For a long time, people in Africa, West Africa, all over here, were getting all these products from either North America or from Europe. And that was impacting the quality of maintenance of the pipelines in Nigeria. So that led our company to decide to make an investment, building the capability to manufacture those components locally in Nigeria. So as of now, we pretty much manufacture at our PPA facility. We manufacture all types of pigs that are running in the pipeline, up to calipers, measurement pigs. So what it has done is provided ready access to key maintenance components as far as pipelines are concerned. So that's what led us to PPA, so kind of backward integration, if you like. And PPA is one of its kind in West Africa, indeed in Africa, that manufactures these PPA products. And they are used not only in Nigeria, but Ghana, Cameroon, all these places have pipelines, we ship to those places. And a lot of requests and interest also come from Middle East and even Europe, which supplies some users in Europe. So that is the kind of thing that we're able to do when we all get involved in these specific areas.
All right. There are a lot of young people who I'm sure see you and wonder, how can I be like this? What advice do you have for young engineers and young entrepreneurs? Because as we know, business is the basics of business are general. What kind of advice would you give to somebody who wants to start a venture in the engineering sector particularly? What do you advise them to do?
Good question. Here's the where I will start is you have to have a basic education. It's very important. So you have to take, if you are still a young person who is going through an education process, be it your first degree, secondary degree, whatever it is, you have to take it seriously. You have to learn, and because that what that teaches you is the culture of learning, of absorbing, and it makes you inquisitive. Because you're going from what you don't know to something you wish to know. You have to be really curious and inquisitive. What we see and what I come across a lot is these days young people who go through the process who do not want to learn the habits of learning. So they just want to get a degree. So I'd encourage you, first of all, if you're at that level, you have to have that. You have to learn. You have to know you are there to learn. Teaching yourself the discipline to learn is important because knowledge, technology is evolving, changes every day. It amazes me how fast things move along. What it means is that you have always to be learning. So you learn that culture and make it part of you. Then the next step is you have to believe. You have to have the confidence that you can achieve something. So I really like it when I see young people who have this aspiration, I want to be like this person, that's where it starts. So you start that, then you have to have patience and perseverance. It takes a while, you know. Someone, there's a friend of mine who says my overnight success took me 25 years in the making. So people see it and it's like an overnight success, but it's taken 25 years or 30 years to take it from second when you're in university to where you are. So you have to persevere and you have to be patient. I say perseverance because you're going to hit roadblocks, difficulty, but you have to really be steadfast. You have to learn that ability to learn I mentioned initially. You have to have it. You have to have that culture because the technology is changing. What you learned in university today, by the time you come out, it's no longer what it is. You have to be in the mood to learn. Look what internet, look what computers are doing to know how. You have to be willing to. You have to be learn the habit of going to research, go on the web, go wherever, and realize what people value right now. Because the only way you can get where we are is you find what does the market want, what do people value, what are they willing to pay for, and then you try to provide that either as an employee or as an entrepreneur, as a manufacturer. We use PPE as an example right now. The market needed it because everybody's going overseas to get something that gets here in 1 week. They have to go overseas to get it. So we provide that. That's what the market needs. We provide it. We sell with all the services we do in our business. You have to know what the market wants and be able to do it and start looking for how to do it. And it's only if you're a curious person, an inquisitive person, a determined person, and somebody who can persevere, are you able to do that.
Right, thank you very much. Now we're going to get to the meat of the discussion with plan. What about plan? Because what a lot of people don't know is that you're one of the founding members of Plan. So if you could just give us what was the impetus behind the formation of Plan?
Okay, thank you very much. Look, Plan, I'll tell you very briefly what the story of Plan is. We call it Plan, but what it is, the full name is the Pipeline Professionals Association of Nigeria. We just wanted something that would be easy for people to remember, so we kind of settled for the acronym PLAN. So don't try to kind of format that so people scratch their heads and say, okay, Pipeline Professional Association, where does PLAN come in? Well, Pipeline, PLAN, so we thought there's a little bit of relationship there. So what happened, I tell you, how that association came to be was back in 2004, my company, Digital Technical, we had a big training program where we brought people in from the US and trainers to come and train. And the response from the whole industry, IOCs, was overwhelming. And I remember the gentleman who led that issue, who was the asset integrity manager for BP, British Petroleum in North America, is an engineer, George Williamson, and he said, listen, I see there is a great appetite in this country for knowledge. We need to get together from an association and provide an avenue for people to learn. And that was the nucleus. So from there, I went up to a gentleman called Wim Grant, who was the pipeline manager for Shell. SPDC in Nigeria at the time, and both of us got together and decided to start a plan, and then brought in a few more people. So that's the genesis of it. So the whole idea is to provide an avenue where people which can bring together pipeline professionals. We saw that there's a hunger for knowledge, and we noticed that the asset base, the pipeline asset base in Nigeria is growing. It's growing astronomically. There's a lot of resources that are going into that from the private sector, oil companies, IOCs, national oil companies, gas companies, to the government. So a lot of assets, a lot of money that's going in there. So as the plan came together, and we're now trying to provide a forum to where we can bring professionals, we can focus on training, we can disseminate information to the public, to all stakeholders. What is the benefit of pipelines to you? And what damage are you doing when you damage the pipeline? So kind of all that came together in what we have today as a plan.
All right, thank you very much. Now, I think when Plan started, you were the vice president of the association, and now you are the president. So you are the guiding force behind the association. Now, what is your vision for where do you see Plan? What is your vision for Plan?
Okay. When we started Plan, like you say, I was the vice. I don't know what we call it, president or chairman.
Vice chairman.
Chairman. All right. So I was chairman. I was vice chairman from the private sector, and Wim Brands was the chairman from the IOC. So we kind of agreed that made a good match. He drove the team issue. So at that time, it was a local. It started as a local program for Harcourt. And the vision, of course, is to take it beyond that. And we've been driving that vision. It takes a little time, but it's progressing. And what we wanted was to get to the point where we can provide all this forum at national level for people to come together, share knowledge, and grow knowledge for pipelining. So we've gone from there to last year when we did an international pipeline conference, which was very well attended. It was spearheaded by the group managing director of NNPC. And our vision now is to make plan. First, we want that conference to become entrenched, to become very useful, of great value to everybody, to showcase technology development, all the new things that are coming in as far as pipeline operation is concerned. And that has to do with security of pipelines, it has to do with maintenance of pipelines, it has to do with utilization, monitoring, inspection, all the SCADA, all the remote monitoring system. What is available? What are the new things? We want also to encourage Nigerian companies to start developing products that are specific to our environment. And there are quite a few Nigerian companies who are doing. So my vision is a plan, which is a bigger umbrella than what it is now, have more membership, but where people are coming there to ensure that we grow the pipeline base in Nigeria and improve the pipeline utilization experience. Remember, pipeline, we're not limiting it only to technical people, because we realize that it goes beyond technical. Example, to put a pipeline in the ground, a big gas pipeline, some of them are running over $1 billion. I mean, B, dollar with B. The AKK that is planned right now is $2.5, $2.6 billion project. It's a lot of money. And you soon find out that all that money is not coming only from technical people, it's coming from independent funders, from banks, from institutions. So, plan is open to those people who bring their money, who bring their resources. They are genuine stakeholders in the pipeline system. So we want to get them involved so they can see what the technical people are doing, and we can better appreciate how much investment and how much resources they are committing to the pipeline. So my vision is a large pipeline organization that involves all genuine stakeholders, where information is disseminated, where conferences are held, where training sessions are held, yeah, where new technologies is instigated and driven. And I'm sure we can get there. That is what I see for that.
All right, thank you very much. Because we also know that over the years, plan has changed a little. As I said, when it started, it was primarily for engineers. Now we have students, we have market women, we have property developers, we have environmental groups, we have everybody as the whole thing of we are all asset owners. The pipeline passes. I live on top of a pipeline actually. It's a Shell location road, so I live on top of a high pressure gas pipeline. So I am a stakeholder. So yeah, I've seen over the years that Plan has expanded its focus and has become sort of an advocacy group. What links does the association have in terms of policy development? How do you see the association going forward with regards, for example, the pipeline industry bill and the rest? What do you think the government could learn from the association to improve such a bill?
All right. You see, like Rackler pointed out, when plan was envisioned, it was, or when it was started, it was very technical. It was mostly those people who know what pipelines are, where they are, how to operate them, how to wear them, how to repair them. Those what it was. So, but soon enough, we realized that stakeholders in the pipeline are many, they're varied. I use the bankers and funders and institutions as an example. These are genuine stakeholders. And then I talk about, I haven't even mentioned people like the Department of Petroleum Resources who are also member associations of plan. And then the people who are putting their money in it, or who are supervising national assets like NAPEX and those people. And you, as you rightly pointed out, the people who are impacted every day by pipelines. Now, people sit in their homes and turn their electricity on. At the moment they are putting that electricity, their switch on, they cannot see any link between their electricity and pipeline that is running somewhere. But you know there is a link because that pipeline is probably taking gas or diesel to the power station, which is generating the power and supplying electricity to them. The moment gas supply is shut off to that power plant, all the electricity goes. So those are genuine stakeholders. We talk about people living on, who are building homes above high pressure pipelines, which is a potentially dangerous situation. So our association, through this medium, like what we're talking about now, we're telling them, this is serious. Don't go there. And then we're telling the people who try to vandalize pipelines, who try to, we're telling them, you're complaining. You can't charge your electric phone, your cell phone. Remember that when you vandalize the pipeline, you probably have shut down the electricity that is coming to your house for you to charge your phone. So people like us association can tell that story. If a producer, if a pipeline owner is telling that story alone, people see him as being kind of protecting his investments. But if we can get together, involve more than technical people, and tell the story that this is the value of pipeline to you, this is where pipeline touches you, we believe that that message can go a long way to help the country and help society at large. So that's why it looks like we are an advocacy group, if you want to call it that, but we're just addressing the issue of pipeline. We want to educate, we want people to realize that there is a link between pipeline and your everyday life. They don't see it, but they need to know that everything happens in pipeline impacts you, especially in our country. Crude production, the mainstay of our economy, is pipeline. The mainstay of our economy is oil exportation. And oil flows through pipelines. Everywhere. There's no way you can export anything if you don't have pipelines. So without pipelines, our main foreign exchange earner is not there. So it impacts us from that basis. It impacts us from electricity generation. It impacts us from our environment. If we damage the pipeline, we pollute. Everybody suffers. Food production. So there's a lot. And then the end products, you go down to the end products, you supply refineries, you supply gas plants, you're looking at fertilizer production, you're looking at ammonia production, and all that goes back to drive our food production in the country. So pipelines are kind of central there. But because they are buried, nobody is out of sight, they are kind of silent performers. And we want people to know that this is a critical asset, it's important in your life. That's the kind of message that applies to that.
Exactly, because as I'm fond of saying, if crude be the blood, then pipelines are the arteries.
Absolutely.
So it's very essential. And people don't even realize that things like pharmaceuticals are still linked to the pipeline industry. So
I mean, it's central. It's central to, and it's key for our growth. We cannot grow our economy without power. Power supply is critical. And when people kind of, there's wars around it every day to protect the energy supply. We're talking about energy, and the major source of energy, predominant source of energy in the world today is hydrocarbon. Be it oil or gas, it's hydrocarbon. We are not at the point yet where we can, where the renewable can take over. We're still a long ways down the line. But until that comes, we have to appreciate the importance of pipelines. The Nigerian government is investing a lot of resources in pipelines. They're talking billions of dollars. Now, the private sector, the Dangote Group, is investing billions of dollars in pipelines, offshore pipelines, and maybe some land-based pipelines. But the whole refinery, everybody's kind of hoping and praying and looking forward to the Dangote refinery to go into production, to supply petroleum products. But nobody knows that if you take out the pipelines, that system is grounded. There's no fuel. So there's a lot of pipeline system that's being built around it to supply that base, and from there to the production of petroleum products for all of us.
all right, thank you very much. So we have some questions that were sent in before this time from our Facebook page. So we'll take a couple of them before we call it quits. I've kept you longer than we had even said, but I think everybody's going to enjoy this discussion because they're learning a lot more about the association than they thought. So we have a question from Shegun Faludun. He asks why doesn't Plan bring in arrange professional oil and gas training for its members at subsidized rates? So what do you have to say to Shegun's question?
Thank you very much, Shegun. I'm glad you're interested. Please remain interested. And with SCAP and with the interest of people like you, we can make pipeline to be of value, not only by being underground, but by creating work for a lot of people. Okay, we training is part of the key elements of plan. In fact, we have 4 committees, one on training, we have on regulation, we have on security, and I don't know one more. So we have some committees on that. So regarding training, you saw that training is at the genesis of the original plan. It was from a training program which involved international trainers that plan actually, the whole idea of plan was planted. So we support that, and we keep looking for ways to grow that. We've tried some partnerships with some local suppliers of training, and also with foreign trainers. And we'll continue to look into that. We're already discussing the possibility of incorporating some training into the International Pipeline Conference that we're going to do next. So please stay tuned and send in your ideas. It will help us to spread the word, and if we can get more people, because one of the things with training is you have to have a critical mass of attendees to make training work. But with the interest that you're showing, we're going to double effort and put more focus in providing training opportunities.
Right, thank you very much. We have a question from Leonard. I'm not going to try the surname, I'm going to massacre it. So, Leonard is asking, what are the basic safety measures used by pipeline companies, and what do you specifically do to ensure that your employees, the neighboring communities, and the environment are safe?
Yes. Pipelines, a pipeline actually is a pressure vessel. If you think about it, this is from one end to the other. Especially if you have gas in it, you can easily have 50 bars of pressure in that pipeline, 650 psi. That's a lot of power. So there's a lot of safety surrounding pipelines. From when they're constructed, when they're designed, safety is built in, to when they are built, and when they are operated and maintained. So all the pipeline companies have safety measures. Operating companies, as pipeline operating companies, companies that own pipelines, so they also have safety measures. One of the simple safety things they do is to protect the right of way, and that's what we just covered already in this discussion. In some places, they kind of barricade the right of way, and some people, right of way is the above ground place where pipeline runs. So pipeline is buried, and above the place is buried, people should stay away from it. So those are kind of like safety, on-surface safety system that is there. But when it comes to operation, like my company, we do pipeline maintenance, we do pipeline work. We have safety rules and safety guidelines. We have several safety rules surrounding our activities. We have safety policies on what you wear. We have safety policies on working around pressure vessels, turning valves, operating them. We have safety measures on what you can do, what you cannot do. You can use a cell phone, you can strike a match, etc. There are several safety policies. We have safety policies on driving to work site. We have safety policies on what we wear. We have safety policies on what is procedures for touching a pipeline, opening a valve, opening the valve. There's just a lot of this. I can tell you the oil and gas industry puts a lot of emphasis on safety. And I would assume every pipeline operator, every pipeline company adheres to some basic safety procedures and processes. Unfortunately, I cannot list all of them right now. It's beyond the scope of this discussion. But if you want, our secretary can link you up to some companies that specialize on safety training and safety awareness, or we can link you up to our corporate members, their safety departments, and you can get some more information there.
All right, thank you very much. But one of the questions they still ask is about the communities. How do you ensure the safety of the communities in the areas that you work? What policies do you have in place for third party?
Well, part of the things that we do is this whole idea of training and information dissemination. So wherever we work, wherever people go to work, they go with certain guidelines before they work. They have to have their safety meetings, and safety meetings often involve the people who work around that area. They have to create their barricade, isolation of hazardous areas to make sure people don't go in. They have their regular meetings. They provide certain things like monitoring system if you want to know what type of gas that is coming up. So and in doing this, you're actually, and also don't forget, we engage some people from the communities to work with us. So we expose them to all this training and all these safety processes. Now we are talking about other things like right of way kind kind of isolation, which is pipeline companies that they keep fighting that battle to educate the communities to please stay away from the right of way, especially on hazardous pipelines. There's a lot of engagement that's going on, and my hope is that people can see what a lot of these professional companies are doing and learn from them. So if they don't just go operate a valve without knowing what it is, you don't go operating a valve without knowing what it is. So there's a training through engagement, and I think the safety of everybody is critical, and we all take it very seriously.
All right, thank you, sir. We have a question from Zaid Abubakar. Now, Zaid is a recent graduate. His question is, what field of specialization would you study as a professional to work in the oil and gas industry? I have a bachelor's degree in geology. What field should I go into for my master's?
Okay, side, congratulations. If you already have a degree in geology, it's a good area. That's probably where the oil and gas industry actually starts, because they have to look at the rocks and know where there's oil and where there's not, and study the genesis of oil. So you're already in the oil and gas industry by studying geology. A lot of companies hire geologists. But I think if you're going next, you have to define, you have to really know what areas interest you. I've met a lot of geophysicists, people who are called geophysicists, or people who are called petrophysicists, and these are people who kind of now go and specialize in that geological knowledge as it applies to oil and gas industry. So if you're looking at masters and you're so fascinated by that, that's one area you should be looking at, like geophysical studies. And there are some programs around Nigeria. There's a program, I think, in the Petroleum Training Institute in Port Harcourt University. PFI, it's called PFI. They have a program, a postgraduate program, where they take geologists and they train them. And there are some institutions that do that, like LANSA, takes a lot of geologists and molds them into geophysicists who can go into the oil and gas industry. What I would advise you to do is do a little research. That's what I said earlier. The quest for learning does not end, and it's critical. Do a little research on your own and find out what areas would interest a lot of companies. There's so many companies coming out in Nigeria now, which is a good thing. What kind of area of specialization should I go into that will make me marketable to oil and gas industry? So that's one thing. Now, the other thing I would also advise is there is a difference between basic education, university education, and practical know-how. As it is, what businesses, companies actually look for more than anything else is that practical side. The application of what you learn in the university. And I know that's a big challenge for a lot of people coming out of university, because oftentimes you have to have a job to get trained and taught that side. So you should look at where you will have opportunity for somebody to expose you to those geophysical activities that are taking place in the oil and gas industry. Some of them you may not strictly learn from a master's program, some you will. So you have to do your research and go from the point of view of what would be of value to some people or people who hire. And that's where you should put your energy. You're already on the right track, you just have to cross it over the next level so that somebody can see you and see that you have the potential to add to their business.
All right, thank you. If I can just add something to that, also engaging in professional associations like PLAN is the way to go. Attend our technical, because we have a lot of free activities that provide networking opportunities. We have social media forums, which are also free, where discussions, we post articles about events in the oil and gas industry, comments, make your contributions. People see, people take note. If you're a regular contributor, people look at this and like, oh, this is making sense. We have the association, like CLAM, we have a website. We're always looking for people to provide articles and to contribute to our newsletter, our website. So you use this to push yourself, focus people's attention on you. In this environment, it gives you an opportunity, even when questions are asked, if you know, answer.
So get involved. Basically, get yourself engaged. Remain engaged. Do not despair. It doesn't work overnight. You have to be persistent, as I said. You have to have patience. Be involved. Spread your knowledge there. Spread your tentacles. Get active and get yourself noticed. Look for something that will make you stand out from everyone else. And what you can learn in this type of engagements, even from this session that we're doing now, could be of help.
All right, thank you. We have a question from Mohammed B. Sultan. This is a slightly technical question. He asks, what is the basic difference between a flow line, gathering line, and a pipeline?
Okay, they're all pipes. They're all tubes that carry petroleum products or gas water. They carry all those. But so the flow line. Let's start with the flow line. Typically, the flow line is the name is a identification given to smaller diameter pipelines that are typically from 3 inches, in fact, some 2 inches, 3 inches to 6 inches, and these take the products from wellheads. They take the products from wellheads to a certain gathering point, at a flow station or wherever. So it's the first mile, if you like, of the travel of crude from when they come out of the ground, and they go from there. And then from there you have the next one, which is the gathering lines. So from those areas, if you can have 2 or 3 wells that are put together, brought to one collecting point, one at a flow station or manifold. From that manifold, from different manifolds, the gathering lines are typically, at least in our environment, they are typically 6 inches to anything up to 20, kind of medium size and medium. And they go from there to a larger gathering place, which can be a big processing facility or a larger manifold where they come together. So you can see they are less numerous than the flow lines. The flow lines leak every well, and in fact you can have 2 flow lines from one well to the gathering point. So we'll go to the next level. So from this gathering point you have these other lines that take to a larger place. Now the trunk lines now take this over longer distance. Yeah, they take the pipeline, and trunk lines are usually larger diameter. They can run typically from 12 inch to, if we're talking gas and things, to up to even 48 inches. So the trunk lines, they're like a long running pipelines that take a collection of production from so many sources, gathered from many fields, can pull them together, either from a flow station or from a manifold, and transport them a longer distance. Typically, a longer distance to where they are used, either to a refinery, where they can be processed, or to an export point where they can be loaded on a vessel and shipped out. So the difference is a question of size and number. From what I just described, you'll notice that there are fewer trunk lines than there are gathering lines. I'm sorry, there are fewer trunk lines than gathering lines, and fewer gathering lines than flow lines.
Alright, but they are all pipelines.
They are part of the pipeline network. They're all intertwined. Yeah, they're all intertwined.
Alright. Okay, we have a question from Dominic Banjo. He is a member of our Lagos chapter. Actually, he started as a student member and now he's a full member. So his question is an environmental question. He asks, what is Plan currently doing to tackle the issues of oil bunkering in the Niger Delta?
Yeah, that was from Daniel, did you say?
Yes.
I also want to thank you for being a member of the Lagos chapter. And please stay active. There are so many people working on pipelines in Lagos now. So many young companies that are coming up, that are running pipelines, that are managing pipelines, and there is need for all that kind of knowledge in that area. All right. Now, we'll ask him, what is Plan doing about the can you repeat that question again?
What is Plan currently doing to tackle the issues of oil bunkering in the Niger Delta?
Yeah, it's slightly outside the scope of Plan activity. But here's what we try to do. What we can do is education. We try to, where possible, through this kind of media, to educate people. Again, if you're doing those activities, they impact on the environment, they impact on the resource base of the country, they impact on our revenue generation, they have a lot of negative impacts on the whole society as a whole. And we try to kind of let people be aware of these. And what the other thing that we do is when we have opportunity and we engage with policymakers, we share our knowledge with them. Because one of the good things about our association is we have people who actually work in the field, where the rubber hits the road, as I say, who have knowledge from actually going to the pipelines, going to the remote locations, going to the wellheads, to the manifolds, and we have experiences, we have information and knowledge, and we can pass that to all the policymakers when we meet the people at an NPC, everywhere, can tell them this is what we think, this is what is happening. So, but there's a limit as an association, there's a limit to what we can do on the security issue surrounding vandalism, surrounding bunkering, but we share information where we have it. And we discuss it in our forum. We provide opportunity for people to discuss and for policymakers to know what is really happening in the field.
All right, thank you very much for that answer. But I will add as an aside, Plan also engages with other non-profits and NGOs, for example, NAGOND, which is also a member of the association, and they actually have been greatly involved in driving policy with regards to environmental matters, as well as talking about, we don't call it oil bunkering, we call it artisanal refining. Yes. And some people will argue that it's not illegal, it is unlicensed. By when you look at the oil and gas, or do you call it the OJ? Yes, because the only thing that you can actually be prosecuted for is for refining without a license. And the fine is ridiculous. I think it's 2,000 naira if you are caught. That's the.
That's why the laws. That's where people like us are advocating and kind of saying this is what's happening. Yeah, you point out very accurately. There are NGOs that are very active in this area who kind of specialize in the issues, the social issues that are involved. It's a very complex situation. There are so many social dimensions that drive this, that are the root cause for some of the things we bring up. And we sensitize people and that there are social elements. Some of these things are not technology only driven, they are not. There are social dimensions to them which have to be looked at if we're able to find a solution.
Thank you very much for that answer. And I think we are not quite, I think we have one more question. And then we will be done with the question and answer session. Chidebere asks a question concerning training. Companies training their staff. That he has noted that a number of companies don't seem to invest that much in human resources development. you as a company owner and an entrepreneur, I know that your take on HR and capital development, human capital development, is quite different. What does your company do with regards to training of its staff?
Okay, when we talk about our resources, our number one resource is our human resource, is our people. That's our number one resource. Because take out the people, we don't have a company. So we take it very seriously, the development of our people. So we have programs, we have training programs, but we have, I say we have training every time. Training on safety, training on technology, training on business development. We have in-house, a lot of in-house training. We have external training. We send a lot of people out of the country, out of the town to go and train. Even as I was last speaking, we have a couple of our people who came back from the US who went to train on intelligent killing tools. So human development is fundamental. And I personally have seen people transform. It's amazing. It can be completely amazing when you see people go from no greenhorns to experts. It changes them completely. So we invest in training as a company at different levels. For us, it's part of our human resource development. We expose our people to what the business is doing. We expose them to even the basics of running a business, from budgeting to planning to controlling. We do all those kind of training. I would advise any Nigerian company to invest in your people. I understand people think, okay, I train somebody and he can go out somewhere. And that thought, in a way, kind of limits them. But it is a myopic thought, and it's based on fear instead of on hope of what they can achieve. And somebody has to train somebody. I mean, I was trained. If I didn't have the exposure I had, walking around the world, getting top class exposure and training, trust me, I wouldn't be here. I wouldn't be where I am. So yeah, somebody trained me, and I got to train somebody. And what I've learned is an individual can take away the training you've given them, but they cannot take away the culture, the tone, the structure of a company. Because the business still thrives if you have a strong basis for it. But in the time you have them, they can add a lot of value to your system. So that's my own personal philosophy on training, and we do it a lot in our organization.
Thank you, sir. And I think we also try and do the same thing with Plan
Plan, that's it.
as well, because we invest a lot of our time in training and educating our membership any way that we can.
And even our conferences are training sessions too. Because if our last conference, you need to look at the amount of material and information that was shared on on this issue of pipelines, of maintenance of pipelines, improving pipelines. A lot of information was shared there, uh, and a lot of awareness was created. So our conferences, our technical sessions, our training sessions, all that is geared towards human resource development.
Right, thank you, sir. So we are about rounding up. So we've talked about Plan past, present. What is Plan in the future? Where do you see Plan in the next 5 to 10 years?
Oh, okay. Here's my vision for Plan. Plan is going to be a key part of the pipeline story in Nigeria. That's where Plan is going to be. We're going to be a resource for pipeline development planning, for pipeline system maintenance, for pipeline information development, and for pipeline human resource development. Plan is going to be in the thick of it. We'll be consulted. Plan will be consulted on major issues that have to do with pipeline, whether it's securing pipeline, it's protecting them, it's running them, operating. That's my vision. The next few years, we're going to grow our conference presence. So our primary international conference is going to be an annual feature, and we want it to grow and serve more people. So we're going to expand our branches. That's what we hope. We hope this presence on the web, presence on the conference arena, will help attract more people, attract more interest, and people can come in and add value. So we want to increase our web presence. This is one example of it, and I'm glad that our secretariat is doing a good job in that area. They are leading, they are showing leadership, and I hope that leadership will continue. We want to expand our web presence. We want to expand our linkages with other people who add value to what we're doing. Other associations, be it the International Pipeline Engineering Group, be it the POF, the Pipeline Operators Forum in Europe. So we want to expand our linkages to those people so we can add more value to our membership. And we want to grow our membership. Member companies, people, grow our individual membership base. So I see a vibrant pipeline association, and the ultimate measure in this is that pipeline systems in Nigeria are serving our country the best they can. And trust me, as I mentioned, pipeline is critical to the power equation in Nigeria. And our role is to help drive that. And if we can, the true measure of it down the line is that the utility of pipelines is where we want them to be, serving us the best they can.
All right. Do you have any last words for our viewers?
What I'll tell our viewers is I want to thank them for being with us. I want to tell you that you're seeing a new direction for plan. We will empower our secretary to be more active, to remain active online, spread the word, involve other people, bring your ideas, we'll incorporate what we can. Remember, we are an association. An association is people. If you don't participate, we're missing a resource base, because we need people. We need you to be involved. We need you to spread the word. If you want the association to serve you, you have to be part of it, to build it up to where it can serve you. So stay tuned, stay involved, stay engaged, spread the word, and that will kind of embolden the association to serve you better.
All right, thank you, sir. Thank you for giving us time from your very busy schedule. I mean, I've kicked like 5 people out of your office already, and we appreciate your time and your effort and your energy in building this association. Plan has been in existence since 2005, incorporated in 2006, and you have been there every step of the way. So we thank you for that. And for our viewers or listeners, depending on how you're listening to this broadcast, we want to thank you for your time and for your engagement. And we hope you will follow us along this journey as we seek to improve. I know we've had a couple of technical issues, which we'll definitely improve on by the next activity. From henceforth, you don't even need to wait until there's a live session. If you have any questions that you want answered, ideas for next discussion topics, who you would like us to interview, feel free to drop this information. You can follow us on our social media links. You can follow us on Twitter. You can follow us on Facebook. The links are streaming. You can see them ticking across. You can also send an email to admin at plan-ng.com and kindly put the topic as series, and we'll know that that's where your questioning is coming from. Thank you very much. Have a wonderful day, and we look forward to seeing you soon. Goodbye.